We are here to do your channel messages and what I see for your star sign in each month. Now, if you do like this content, remember to click the bell. And also we do have a brand new edition, which is the Romance Zone. So stay tuned for that. I will be bringing those channel messages with the tarot live by mid-month. So if you do wish this content ahead of the game, you can join a YouTube membership where I pre-release these a week ahead. Take care, and let's have a look at what I see for your zodiac sign this month. Welcome back, Pisces. Yes, we do have a brand new edition, and we do have, as mentioned, mid-month. Now, this will be on screen and pre-release to our YouTube members a week ahead of the game, as well as on our podcast. If you do want to see those, please follow us so that you can get your update. Let's get into your psychic downloads for the month of January 2023. Can you believe it? We are finally here. And I do believe for a lot of you guys, you can really be making some very solid plans moving into 2023. There can be a little bit of anxiousness, I do believe, coming through, and especially with your purpose. I do feel some of you are looking at life, and I do feel it's almost like you want to turn over a new leaf. You want to deal with some of these spiritual beliefs inside of your life, and I feel you want to shake things up. Some of you, I do feel, could be seeing people from the past, reviewing circumstances of what you like and dislike, and wanting to really redirect those. I do see a lot of confusion, especially around both love, career, your roles, what you're dealing with. And I also feel there can be some paperwork involved with your zodiac sign. I do particularly feel emotionally there can be a circumstance where you're trying to discuss things with individuals around you at this point in time. I do feel particularly you may decide to go in a brand new direction, but maybe be potentially second guessing yourself. I do feel to a degree you're looking at limits and limitations. And this can be limiting beliefs. This can be deciding that you're going to be very strict with your plans and how you're going to implement them moving forward. I do spiritually feel for your zodiac sign, there could be some circumstances around home and family, and you might have really pulled back from particular individuals because things weren't vibing. I do feel getting on the same page as family may be a little bit difficult. I also feel for those of you that have children, there could be circumstances towards discipline. You know, where are we too neutral? Where are we too heavy? I do particularly feel you could be looking at your direct environment and feeling almost like you need to get on top of things. You need to get things back on track. I do spiritually feel as you move into the month of January, it's almost like you're giving your life an audit. And yes, well, I do feel some of us were making New Year's resolutions well and truly before 2023. And I think even moving into the first week of January, many of you have that inkling as to what those changes are. This can be, you know, joining gyms, getting home in order, changing jobs, reviewing your romantic sector. But this feels really personal on this occasion. And some of you can have this huge frustration that you're looking at, and maybe weariness as to, are you going to be able to achieve the things that you haven't been able to over the last 4 years? I do feel if anyone is owing you something, it can be a little bit niggling on you, but I do feel this can be coming back to you, but I feel it's by mid-month to the end of the month. I do feel in the area of love and romance. Let's dive straight in. They're already taking me there. Okay, love and romance. I do feel both singles and couples are having changes. I do feel those of you that are thinking and nostalgic and, you know, looking at the pros and cons and, you know, what you needed to be, what you needed to achieve, what was realistically happening in the past. I feel many of you can be reviewing this at this point in time. I do feel from a spiritual point of view, sometimes we can be looking back and thinking we could have either A, done better, or B, that we weren't given the greatest of opportunities, and maybe we had way too much on our plate. But I do think, however this pertains to you as an individual, I do feel you're casting a very critical eye on this, and there can be some nervousness and tension. I do particularly feel co-parenting situations, situations relating to love and children. It could look a little bit messy in the first month of the year. I do feel you're going to become more firm with particular individuals and create these healthy boundaries. And I do feel you're going to be speaking up. Now, could this be the post-Christmas and New Year's jitters and all the dirty laundries coming out? Yes, potentially it could for some. For some of us, this may have occurred last year. For some of us, this still can be playing out. And I feel it's something to do with socialization, hierarchy and family, tradition and lineage. It feels very serious. Some of you could be calling a family meeting. I do particularly feel surrounding love. You may get to the bottom of the circumstance. And I do feel even for those of you that are single, there is an opportunity here to add zest and spice back to the connection. I do feel some of you are deciding that you want to turn over a new leaf. And this can be with your image. This can be with your diet and your health. It's very common where we move into, the new year that this comes up. But I feel this is so much more. I feel this may have been, it's almost like slow and steady wins the race, but something's crept up on you and you feel you need to address it. I still do feel in the first few weeks of January, there is a potential of emotional eating. I feel as we progress into the middle of the month, there is this revelation, and it's just going to be chalk and cheese. It's going to be absolutely different. It's almost like we're combining a pocket of energy into a very condensed space of time. And I feel there's going to be a lot that can be achieved during this time, but it will be frustrating. But I do feel the vibration is changing from night to day. I do feel new chapters in your life. You're having a revelation of where you stand. Now, how can that look? Sometimes it's that we're in our young 20s. And there's certain things that we do for social energies, and there's certain hopes we have surrounding that age bracket. And then we're in our 30s and we have another genre. I feel there's a point in your life, particularly for those of you, it just feels like a point in your life is culminating, it's coming to a close. And I do feel potentially you're going to have revelations, but I do feel from a spiritual point of view, there's a great deal of healing you're going through. It can be belief systems, expectations. There can be shadow work, but also I do particularly feel it's almost like we're wanting to sing Kumbaya all together, but we're having a revelation of, have we actually been viewing the circumstances correctly? Did we miss something? Is there something now we can address with that newfound information? I do feel for those of you involved in a spiritual connection, there could be family-related dynamics playing out, or a direct home or location. I do feel some of you are going to bump into this individual. I do see transformation, but I do feel you need to walk easy into this in the month of January, because there still could be crosswires and misunderstandings, and it can cause a lot of situations cropping up. I feel in your career sector, you're really seeking purpose. Some of you could be seeking new employment. Some of you could be going up the next tier level in career. Some of you, I do feel there could be a reshuffle in that location, and there could be individuals moving out. Now, what does that mean? It can be management. It could be a restructuring, so to speak. I do feel somebody is exiting stage. This could be you or another person. Could you be looking at your career sector with newfound energy? Yes, I do feel so. And I do feel this is about you wanting to increase your wealth. I also feel you have a lot of goals that you want to achieve this year. But there could be a bit of dispute. Now, the dispute could be coming from a inheritance or a legacy. But again, I'm feeling it's more you're fighting. You want to get back on top where you want to be. It could be a personal goal that you have had for yourself. And I do feel, growth of your sector of abundance is also a very large potential. I do feel some of you may need to replace a big ticket item this month. I also feel somebody is going to be giving you something back. I just keep seeing you getting something back. Now, in this career domain, if you really were unhappy in an area of employment, I do particularly feel this is one of those good months that we can actually get those resumes, ducks in order, review our references. Do expect some delays, but I do potentially feel this can be a very positive transition for you. But you can be taking on added responsibility for that direct position. I do particularly feel yeah, definitely a large ticket item. This is a large ticket item I'm viewing psychically. Oh, could it be a house? Could it be a fridge? Could it be a washing machine? Could it be a loan? Yeah, I'm just saying whatever it is, it's large. In your wellness sector, I do feel a very firm determination here. There could be some emotions that you are reviewing at this point in time. I do feel spiritually you could be very hard on yourself at this point, and I do feel as we do proceed through the year, this can become even more relevant. I do particularly feel if you're needing to maybe reduce some of the stress on you and, join a gym, I do feel it's going to be key. But some of you, it also can be shaking up your daily routine, joining groups, joining, what's relevant to you and where you stand right now. And that's what they're showing me. It's like, some of you could be, you've joined a gym, but you're not really vibing the location. Maybe it's 40 minutes away from home. There's something that's changing here, but some of you can be revisiting some sense of creativity, sports, social setting, clubs. I do feel there's a potential that some of you can be suppressing some of these emotions and there will be throat chakra coming up for you. I do feel some of you are quite frustrated in particular areas. I do feel some of you are going to be very firm with the overindulgence, and it does appear to be that some of you could actually look at this and say, hey, this is becoming a bit of a problem. I need to address it. Now, could that be an emotional situation pertaining to courage potentially? Could it be overeating, undereating, getting stressed? I do feel your organisation is going to have to be key. I do feel also if you're struggling with the situation around home and family, I do feel communication is going to be the key. But not necessarily is every person going to get on the same table. Now, if I could give you any tips, what would they be? I would say be super cautious at the moment until we reach about the end of the month with wellness. I do particularly feel there can be some news coming in towards the end of the month surrounding wealth. Make sure that you update all your passwords. Make sure that you double check your documents. If you're needing to progress forward and you're finding you have too much on your plate, start at the bottom and work to the top. So make a list. Could it be something that you're trying to achieve at home? Are you addressing a home-based business and you're trying to get everything back in order? I do particularly feel that this is very positive, and I do feel over the next few months you're really laying the pavement for your brand new beginning over this next cycle. And I do think this is going to go the distance. So whatever you're addressing at this point in time and having challenges with, they are going to iron out. There is a method to the madness. I would particularly say be super careful around friendship groups. And if something was hidden at work, be this it is a romantic situation, definitely gossip may come through in that area. Try to be an observer of that factor, but know also some things are going to come out of the woodworks. Come join us for your mid-month update around romance. I will be on screen, and yes, it will be pre-released both in our podcast and here at Yildiz Readings 5D and our YouTube membership a week ahead of open to the public. So come and join us for that. Otherwise, I will see you throughout the month for our updates. If you want a private booking, all the information is below or at yildizreadings.com.